The Sinaloa Cartel doesn't have a bank account. It doesn't need one. It built something better. In 2025, El Mayo Zambada, the boss of bosses of the Sinaloa Cartel, pleaded guilty in a U.S. court and agreed to forfeit $15 billion. $15 billion. That's more than the GDP of Iceland, more than the annual revenue of Subway, Hilton Hotels, or Spotify, and almost none of that money ever touched a traditional bank. So the question is, how do you move $15 billion without a bank account? The answer is a financial system so sophisticated that law enforcement calls it a shadow banking network. And by the time I'm done explaining it, you'll understand why it's almost impossible to stop. The cartel's biggest problem has never been making money. It's been hiding it. When you sell fentanyl and methamphetamine across 50 US states, the cash comes in fast. Small bills, hundreds of millions of dollars. Now here's the thing most people don't realize about drug money. The drugs move south to north, from Mexico into the US, but the money has to move north to south. Because cash is heavy. $1 million in $20 bills weighs about 50 kilograms. $1 billion weighs 50 tons. You can't just drive that across the border. So the cartel developed 5 parallel laundering systems. Not 1, 5. That's not a crime operation, that's enterprise-level risk management. System 1, bulk cash smuggling, physical cash hidden in vehicles, shipped across the border, secret compartments in trucks, cars, even aircraft. U.S. authorities seize about $100 million per year this way. The cartel considers that a rounding error, the cost of doing business. System 2, Chinese mirror transfers. This is the system that keeps the DEA up at night, and I need you to pay attention because it's brilliant. A cartel associate in LA has $5 million in cash. A Chinese businessman in Guangzhou wants that in US dollars. The CMLO connects them. No money ever crosses a border. The dollars stay in America. The yuan stays in China. Capital flight from China was estimated at $516 billion in 2024. The cartel's laundering operation rides on top of that existing flow like a parasite on a whale. It's undetectable at scale. System 3, trade-based laundering. The cartel buys legitimate goods in the US, electronics, luxury goods, using drug money. Those goods are shipped to Mexico and sold for clean pesos. The invoices are real, the goods are real, the money is dirty. This accounts for the largest volume of laundered money globally. The goods become the washing machine. System 4, cryptocurrency. By January 2026, cartel-associated wallets had moved over $3 billion in cryptocurrency. Stablecoins flow through decentralized exchanges and cross-chain bridges. But here's what's interesting. The blockchain is actually traceable, which means crypto is actually the cartel's most vulnerable laundering channel. They use it for speed, not security. System 5, professional money launderers, lawyers, accountants, and real estate agents who knowingly process dirty money through legitimate business structures. They use trust accounts protected by attorney-client privilege. TD Bank got fined $3 billion for this. Over 6 years, 90% of the bank's transactions went unmonitored. More than $670 million flowed through from 3 separate laundering networks. The U.S. Attorney General said the bank had made itself convenient for criminals. So here's what $15 billion in cartel infrastructure actually looks like. It's not gold-plated guns, it's logistics, it's risk management, it's diversification. The cartel operates like a Fortune 500 company, except its product kills people and its HR department carries machine guns. And here's the number that should terrify you. The UN estimates that less than 1% of all money laundering globally gets detected. The other 99% flows through the system untouched. The total global money laundering market is estimated at $2 trillion per year. The cartels are the biggest single contributor, but they're not the only ones. Banks, corporations, and governments all use these systems. The difference? When the cartel does it, we call it crime. When banks do it, we call it a compliance failure and issue a fine. $15 billion, 5 laundering systems, and a global detection rate of less than 1%. That's not a cartel. That's a shadow financial institution. And the reason it works is because the legitimate financial system isn't designed to stop it. It's designed to profit from it. Next time, I'm going to tell you about something you've probably never heard of. Kidnap and ransom insurance. It's a $30 billion industry, and it might be the strangest corner of the financial world I've ever found. Follow Economics with Idris. You're not going to want to miss this one.